Imagine a scientist, call her Mary. She spent her entire life inside a black and white laboratory, studying the neuroscience of red. Just red. By now, she knows everything about it. She can recite the exact wavelength of every color on the spectrum. She knows the psychology of red, the precise neurons that carry signals from the retina to the brain, every hormonal, electrical, and chemical shift that sweeps through the body the moment someone sees it. Mary knows red, completely, theoretically. But here's the question. What happens the day Mary finally walks outside and sees red for the first time? Does she learn something new? Is there something in that raw, lived experience that no textbook could ever capture? Philosophers call this Mary's room. We'll leave that debate to the philosophers, because I want to flip the whole question upside down. What if Mary had been seeing red her entire life, but never once described it, never wrote it down, never named it, never tried to understand it? Would starting to document it change everything? I think yes, and I have proof. Researcher Guy Deutscher, author of Through the Language Class, raised his daughter Alma with a deliberate experiment. He never pointed out the color of the sky. Then, one day, he asked her, "What color is the sky?" Alma didn't know. To her, it was simply colorless. She eventually managed to label it blue, but it took real effort. The sky had been above her every single day of her life. She just never had the words for it. The ancient Greeks had the same problem. Homer, the greatest poet of antiquity, described the sea as wine dark. Not poetically, literally. He mentions other colors hundreds of times across his epics. Blue? Not once. Zero. Did the Greeks actually see the ocean differently than we do? Researcher Jules Davidoff traveled to Namibia to find out. He visited the Himba tribe, where a single word covers both blue and green. Now, look at these colored squares. Which one is the odd one out? You saw it immediately, right? But members of the Himba tribe take significantly longer. They have to carefully compare each square one by one. Why? Because without a dedicated word separating blue from green, the difference barely registers in their perception. This experiment has been repeated across the world, including with Russian speakers. And here's where it gets fascinating. Russian has a separate word for light blue, goluboy, distinct from regular blue. And it turns out, Russian speakers are measurably better at distinguishing shades of blue than English speakers. People from Altai outperform people from China on certain color distinctions, simply because the Altai language has more color categories baked into it. Language shapes what we see, how we understand space, how we perceive the world. So it's really only a slight exaggeration to say, describing something is almost as important as the thing itself. And yet, in one critical area, most of us are completely embarrassingly blind. Our own inner life. Just like the Himba people with their blue and green squares, we can't tell the difference between anger at others and anger at ourselves. We don't understand what actually drives our own decisions. We can't name what we're feeling. We don't track where we keep going wrong. We don't even notice the different shades of our own mood. We don't know ourselves. That's exactly why I, your friendly yellow banana, write in a journal almost every single day. Because you can only truly see yourself once you start describing yourself. And science backs this up completely. When people write about their experiences and emotions, they develop a coherent narrative about who they are. They gain clarity about their values, their patterns, what they actually want. Self-confidence grows. Chaotic emotions gradually transform into understood, manageable ideas. And the dark, inaccessible corners of the inner world get lit up, like someone finally turned on the lights. Imagine you've never once seen your own face. Then one day, someone holds up a mirror. That's what journaling is, a mirror for your mind. And the science behind it is genuinely staggering. Journaling lowers stress, measurably, in brain activity and stress hormone levels. It reduces anxious thought loops and depressive symptoms. It helps people process trauma and recover from mental illness faster. And here's the part that sounds like pure fiction, but isn't. Regular journaling helps physical wounds heal faster. It reduces symptoms of asthma and arthritis. It improves blood pressure, lung function, liver health, and immune response. Still skeptical? In a 2001 study, researchers had participants keep a journal for just 1 week. Then they measured working memory. The journal writers had more of it, more capacity. Their brains literally performed better. Because here's what's happening inside your head. It's constantly stuffed with unprocessed noise, unresolved feelings, half-remembered tasks, lingering worries, vague plans that go nowhere. When you dump all of that onto a page, your mind clears. You stop using mental energy to store emotional clutter, and you start using it for things that actually matter. That's why people who journal get better grades, miss fewer days of work, and recover from setbacks faster. That's why Leonardo da Vinci, Einstein, Mark Twain, Marie Curie, Churchill, Benjamin Franklin, and Darwin all kept journals. This is the most powerful self-knowledge tool I know of. So, how do you actually start? Ideally, grab something to write with each day and spend about 15 minutes on it. The more honest, detailed, and emotionally real your entries, the more you get out of it. But honestly, the best journal is the one you actually keep. I type mine because my thoughts move faster than my hand. I don't write every day. I don't force dramatic emotional confessions, but I aim for depth when I can. Sometimes an entry is 100 words. Sometimes it's 10,000. Sometimes I talk to my journal like it's a friend. Sometimes I use it to plan my week. If I'm feeling lazy, I'll voice record it and clean it up later. The format doesn't matter. The writing doesn't have to be beautiful. What matters is this: turn your inner world inside out. Put it in front of you. That's how I find myself. I hope you find yourself too.